By the way, I'll tell y'all here first. I'm officially done talking about them bums. This is really, really real. We buried him, dig him up, and let him die again. It's all good. It's over. I'm gonna tell you why. Just simple, nigga. I'm not gonna be walking promo for another nigga. You know what I mean? Trying to get a bag. So, good luck to them stooges. But the road ends here with me and y'all. I violated y'all enough, said enough, embarrassed y'all enough. Y'all ain't said nothing then. At this point, whatever y'all got going on, good for y'all. Let's see who's, I always bet on time. It's the reason I've been around for 10 years. Let's see who's still up a year or so, okay? All right. Anyway, chat, what's good with y'all, man? I'm in here, man. I was out of town for the last, a while. My second time, really, traveling since COVID. Very interesting experience. The first time, y'all know I went to St. Thomas. This time around, I went to Florida. I was up in Miami. Then, while I was in Miami, I went to Texas. I'm going to tell y'all some very glaring, obvious things that I noticed. At least in Florida and Texas, you're looked as weird if you're wearing masks. Other than maybe like an airport, nobody's wearing masks. Nobody says anything about masks. Nobody says, oh, social distancing. No, it could be mad people clumped up. Nobody's wearing masks. It was an eye-opening experience because I live in New Jersey. I work usually in New York, and it's usually ghost town. Or if people are around, they're looking at each other like, you got that shit? And everybody got masks on. It's interesting how other people live in other places in the world, or even within the same country. Just, couple hours in terms of a flight. Somebody said COVID don't exist in Florida. Maybe it don't. Maybe it don't. I think Florida and places like Texas, they're on that fuck it shit. It's like they know COVID does exist because it does. But they're like, yo, hey, if you're not healthy enough to risk you catching it, don't go out. But we ain't about to change how we move based on a few people that shit might affect and kill. That's what I'm thinking their thinking is, because they're done with the quarantine shit. Partying. I'm telling you, man. Man, I was up in a strip club. I'm going to give you a little overall rundown of the whole trip. But I was up in a strip club. There's nothing. You'd be in that club and think COVID never even came. Like, these motherfuckers don't even care. Anyway, by the way, strip clubs in Florida are so much different from, New York. In New York, and I don't know where y'all at, and some of y'all are probably young, so y'all don't even know about strip clubs. I'm not a big frequenter of strip clubs. I always felt like it was really awkward pressure. When I go up in a club, and especially if people know me, I feel pressure to throw money, because they're going to, if I don't throw money, they're going to do me like how that stripper tried to do Black Youngster. So essentially, you're being peer pressured into giving away your money. And it's more about making a spectacle more than really having fun, right? So, you showing people, it's, when rappers go to strip clubs, maybe they do have fun, but most of the times, it's like them just trying to prove they're that nigga who they think they are. So, if that means they got to waste or spend, I won't say waste, $5,000, $10,000 in the club, they got to do it. But at least the people in the club walked away with saying, yo, that nigga is really that nigga. So, I'm not that big of a fan of strip clubs for that reason, okay? You know what I mean? There's a lot of other things I could do with money. Just not throwing it at chicks who, I guess you could just pay for them to fuck, but no, anyway. Okay, so let me give you the rundown of the trip. I went to Miami. Pretty much most of all, me and 6ix9ine, and I know some of y'all get triggered by that name. I get it. It's cool. That's my guy. I'm sorry. Our birthdays are 9 days apart. I was really telling him, I'm like, yo, we should just go out of the country, because truth be told, I can't really go much places with him that's populated. At least in mainland America. Niggas hate him. In DR, nobody give a fuck. Puerto Rico, I'm not saying people love him, but Yo, overseas is whatever. Anyway, we're supposed to go to somewhere. Looked like that wasn't happening. Anyway, I told him I would pull up. I did. And I'm going to be honest, it was a very dope experience. So went to Florida, linked up with him. He had a show the next day in a place that I don't know if y'all have ever heard of. It's in Texas. It's called Hidalgo, Texas. And if anyone here from Hidalgo sees this, I want to salute to everybody from Hidalgo. Apparently, it's a southern Texas city that's pretty much on the border, right? Apparently, you can see the border a lot of places while driving in that city. If you don't know, 6ix9ine's Mexican. Despite maybe hood niggas not fucking with him, his Mexican audience still rocks with him and is still proud of him. Whether it's because they love him or whether they see, hey, you're still repping the Mexican flag and we could be you. Whatever the case is, it's like Nav, right? Like there's a lot of brown boys that support Nav that, you know what I mean? Even if they don't particularly love his music, they're going to support Nav because Nav could be you. Nav is opening the door for people like you. So I went there and we flew their private jet, which, by the way, I don't know if y'all know how this works. I don't even know if I should tell y'all the mystery behind all this. There's no mystery behind it. 6ix9ine dominates, and he dominates a lot of, he commands a lot of, if you could pull 7,500 people to a venue in southern Texas, that's big. Some artists struggle with doing that in LA, in New York. Those are usually strong points for most artists. So to go to somewhere that's kind of off the map named Hidalgo, Texas, no disrespect, and do that, that's very big. So I believe the promoter sent a jet. They did all type of shit. Obviously, they're trying to make sure he gets to the show this and third. I rolled with him. We went to the show. It was good. It was really good hospitality. Police escort all over the place. They definitely didn't play around with possible any safety concerns. They made sure there was cops everywhere. There was vehicles on top of vehicles. Even if you were the fucking cartel, you would have literally had to just declare that city a war zone to do something. You get me? I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of taken aback. 7,000 people showed up, and every time I've gone to concerts, people, I remember Russ invited me to his concert. I always look for a few things. More than watching the performer, because a lot of times we know how these guys, if they're good performers or not. I look at the crowd. And I looked, even someone said it to me and it reminded me. I looked in that crowd in Hidalgo, Texas. I might have been the only black person at the show. The Hispanic community, there was a few whites in there. If you ask me, a lot of them don't give a fuck about snitching. They don't give a fuck about that type of shit. They're there to support him. That's one of the reasons why I think if 6ix9ine was black, he'd be done. You get me? Because he's not black, he's always gonna have these places that are pretty much slam dunks in him doing shows and all type of things like that. By the way, he put on an amazing show. He did rehearsal 10 minutes before. He's like, yo, act. I'm not going to lie. There was no opener. There was no festival, so this is 6ix9ine's concert. There's no official openers. Like, there were some local dudes, I believe, they performed before. But he asked me, he was like, yo, act. And he asked me this before when I went to Santa Ana. Said, yo, act, you got to perform. You got to do Blues Clues. He's like, yo, if people know me, they know you. I get it, you don't do music all that much, but shit, that song Blues Clues, like, if you perform it, people will fuck with it. And of course, you know, I'm off the hen dog, so I'm like, nigga, all right, just tell your DJ 10 minutes, hype up the crowd, and 10 minutes before you come out, nigga, I'm going to take the fucking stage. And by the way, I did. I'm going to play a small clip of it. I'm just giving you a recap just of the trip. It's on my personal page if you guys don't follow me. I am Akademiks. I am Akademiks. By the way, totally unprepared to perform, but fuck it. They got me feeling like I'm academics. When he got the problem, call the paramedics. Academics, yeah. They got me feeling like I'm academics. All right, and that was like the crowd perspective. Anyway, not gonna lie, which I don't know if they knew the song. They showed me love out there. Anyway, who cares? 6ix9ine did his thing. We flew back the same night from Texas to Florida. And then we had like a little barbecue like the next day. We were just chilling. Went to the clubs, like went to a club in Miami, and then we went to a strip club the night after, and then I left. Overall, I will say this. Why y'all saying this? Charlemagne the God update. We're going to talk Charlemagne in a second. Don't worry. Overall, really good trip. Salute to 6ix9ine. I think he's in an interesting place in his life because he's finally found some normalcy, if that makes sense. I think he's learning to be a normal human. He never used to be that person. But I think he's learning how to chill out. And again, when someone has lived on the edge for 2 years, I do think that it's important for him to have this moment because niggas who live on the edge for too long don't last or don't survive or die. So I'm happy for him. Anyway, what else about that trip? Went to some Miami spot. Like the Miami spot was cool. I think it was my first time in Miami, really. I was in Miami cooling. I think we're at a spot called was it Booby Trap? Booby Trap? Or was it Kiki? It was one of them or both. I was about to go to Club Live or some shit like that. Then they told me there was like 15 rappers in there, and then I looked around and I said, "We're moving a little light on security today. I'm straight." Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna be back out to Miami quite shortly, either for the TikTok fight or Rolling Loud. I like to move around with the militia. I like to move around with the president. So it's all good. By the way, that was my first time on a private, like flown on a private jet. Young Boy is the first person who had me walk. I walked on the private jet and watched him like he was playing like Madden. I'm like, okay. But we didn't go anywhere. That was my first time flying on a private jet, which was really cool. All right. Yo, y'all all want a lot of bullshit. All right. Yo, y'all all want a lot of bullshit. All right. Y'all want bullshit? We could get into some bullshit. I intentionally and I felt it was allowed. I didn't want to get into like I've been, you know me, I'm always intertwined with a lot of the media shit that's going on. Hold on a second. The media bullshit, all that type of shit. Last week or the last 3 weeks, I think it was a reshuffling of the cards, which I always like. It's disruption. I like when outcomes and situations are changing that will have people look at things optically different. I could tell you I have succeeded with that in the last 3 months because before 3 months ago, there was a lot of people really talking about me very disrespectfully, like I'm not one of the biggest, not only media personalities, but the most successful in all type of business and and anything business. I'll just say anything business minded. I think after the last 3 months, people get it. Whether it's shaming the two scrubs, whether it's, showing y'all other people within the space and showing y'all also myself to let y'all know, don't ever get it fucked up that I'm sitting here on Twitch. And by the way, again, this is where I make music. This is a music studio. Not because I'm at the crib. Don't ever think that there's another media personality that has more audience than me or has anything over me. Because they used to belittle what I was doing for a long time. Oh, yeah, he's just sitting in like the basement, like making a lot of noise. I think I have gunned up and clapped that shit from anybody who would ever say that. And I'm very proud of that. But there has been a reshuffling going on. It's essentially, it's like Infinity Wars a bit. We got Joe Budden, who fired the two stooges. Then Charlemagne went at him. Other people within his network went at him. Stooges went at him. Other shit. A lot of stuff is happening. Oh, Kwame Brown as well. I'm watching now. Oz 818. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Anyway, I'm not here to address a bunch of stuff. Let me give my quick opinion on Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown is 100% right. I like what Kwame Brown's doing. I think people should understand Kwame Brown's plight. I think I'm in the media. I've always said more than all these other niggas, like, y'all might be a talking head. I run a platform. I do a lot more in media than just talking. Not to diminish what anybody else does. But running a platform, I've understood its power. So when I hear Kwame Brown get at Stephen A. Smith, get at Steven Jackson, get at who else? Matt Barnes. And basically his thing is that, hey, listen, y'all are using y'all platform to tear me down, and your platform seems to only be valued when you're tearing down black men. I kind of understand, because it's a double-edged sword. I don't think that's their intent, but let's be honest. If I wouldn't be as popular as I am if I wasn't polarizing, or if I didn't give real opinions. If I just giggled and nodded along with everything I like, y'all be like, yo, get him out of here. But when I could get on here and be like, yo, these savages trash, or Young Bands, or whoever else I think is fucking atrocious, y'all like the fact that people have opinions. However, that does come with, a lot of things. And that's where I agree with Kwame Brown to a certain extent. Kwame Brown has shaken up single-handedly the media game. You have a bunch of niggas who haven't talked to him, who are making statements about him, analyzing him, making these overt assumptions that would sway public narrative usually about him. And he finally feels he has the platform. And by the way, that's the beauty of the internet. When I say something about person A, it doesn't mean not because they don't have my reach, they can't respond. They could make a YouTube channel. They could just go on live. They could talk right back. And that's why, like, even when I remember when I did that Soulja Boy interview on Everyday Struggle. And Soulja Boy, I told him from the get-go, I said, yo, I want the Soulja Boy that's online. So I want the Soulja Boy who's talking crazy to everybody. I'm going to challenge him like, yo, Soulja, you frauded. And if he like, yo, Ak, you a bitch. Don't cut it. Don't edit it. Don't take it out. Leave it. because it's all in the mix. You feel me? That's just how I see it. So I like what Kwame Brown is doing because Kwame Brown is taking on media personalities. I'm not mad at it. And with that comes a lot of stuff. So I like what Kwame Brown is doing. I just want to put that out there. Bro, y'all in media, bro. If I could acknowledge, and it's not all sunshines and dandelions when it comes to me, right? Bro, the whole Chicago shit that I did, like, you know, of course you're going to have idiots who be like, oh, you like, I never clown nobody who died, this and third. Like, if you felt it was clowning, that's because you didn't understand the terminology. It's like, they have demonized me for that error, but like, let's really even, I was even about to make a caption of it recently with the dudes in Jacksonville. You know what they do now? They forget all historical context. And by the way, I'm going to get to cancellation in a second because I'm going to handle it real carefully. But still, you know what people said to me? They were like, yo, you're like anti-black and whatever. Like, yo, you're calling these dudes savages. Like, yo, you built your career of calling black men, black boys savage. And I'm like, bro, I didn't make this. They were referring them to themselves as savages and competing to be the biggest savage. I didn't make it up. Do you get what I mean? However, when you hear the narrative, it says, yo, Ak built a platform or built whatever off of clowning people dying in Chicago. Let's watch any one of my Warren Chirac videos. I'm clowning the idiots doing the crime. Now, I've grown to understand, and I do completely believe that there should have been some nuance involved with some of the criticisms, even of the criminals, because I'm criticizing somebody who all he knows is that his uncle, his dad, his brother, his sister were murdered and were the victims of gun violence. Not saying that if he takes someone's life, I should feel bad for him, but you have to understand the environment that people are coming in. So it's one of those things, you know what I mean? So I'm not too sure if I just talked in circles there or you guys got what I'm saying, but I was someone who kind of understood not only the power maybe I had, at least, maybe in hindsight, but the power I had, but I also understood what was false blame. All right. So Kwame Brown, I don't see anything wrong with what he's doing. Bruh, I keep telling y'all, man, Kwame Brown having the same moment that nigga I had when Rory and Mealy Mall kept playing on my name, bro. Like, none of y'all niggas, yo, if I want all y'all to notice this, none of these media niggas, like, they all hit me up now. I promise you, every single one. They'll never play on my name like that again. That's why I keep burying them other dudes, because you need to make an example. It's like bullying. When people think you're somebody who will accept anything, they violate you. Bro, you notice when my name is talked about by media niggas right now, the ones that are relevant, I don't know about it, who ain't relevant. Phone Master Flexx mentioned my name. He has some respect on my shit. Charlamagne mentioned my name, respect on my shit. Joe, there was a time that they were trying to disrespect. So if you don't stand for your shit, they gonna disrespect you. I understand what Kwame Brown's doing, because for him, he's like, all right, this is getting farther than y'all just saying I wasn't good at basketball. Y'all are trying to really put a dark cloud over me, and now I got to fight back. I don't have a problem with that. Sorry. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. I keep telling y'all, for everything y'all have said, yo, Ak did this, look at how my contemporaries and my peers talk about me today, and think about how they talked about me in 2019. I want everybody to go back and do it. You'll realize there's a lot more respect today. Tell me I'm wrong. 2018, yeah, this nigga acts a clown, this, that, and third. Even if they think it now, you heard what Drake said, I could load every gun with bullets that fire backwards and still wouldn't lose a single rapper. Yeah, even if they still think that, they not saying it no more. I had to go through the trenches and fight for the respect I know I deserved. I see a lot of respect coming to my way. And that's why I've realized my job is done in that sense. I'm being honest. Yo, think about how they used to talk to me. Oh, niggas like action on a platform. Oh, this and third. Oh, shit. This nigga act. From the Rosenbergs, from the Ruri and Millie Moles who were jealous, from like even some of the people who I respected who, you know what I mean, like at times they were just kind of confused. Respect is now given. Anyway, don't have a problem with Kwame, but I do want to talk about, I think there's it's a reshuffling of the deck. Who do y'all think is the top Flexx did not disrespect me. By the way, Flexx has hit me up. I've talked to Flexx on the phone. Flexx was nothing more than respectful. He's a respectful person, and I'm respectful to him because he is a legend, and I respect what he does. He has pioneered a path for a lot of people. So, y'all can't send me off. I've always, well, interesting question. Where do y'all think I fall in the mix? So in top media personalities, this is how I think. You name your favorite media personality right now, just spam it. I've always thought Charlemagne and Joe Budden were 1A, 1B, were 1 and 2. It could switch on any day, any month. I don't know who the top 5 would be. I'm talking about media personality that's valued for, I don't want to say just hip hop culture like it's only music, but like for the culture we care about. I'm going to read what y'all saying. Somebody says me, Joe, Ack. I see people putting, who else? Gilly. Okay. Somebody says Kevin Samuels. Some people say Wendy Williams as well. Okay. All right. Anyway, I only say that to kind of almost intro topic a bit. To put a button on everything, my gripe and everything with the Stooges is over. I've proven my point. They got fired on air. I did encore and victory lap after victory lap. It should be no question in nobody's mind if those two niggas are ever more successful than me, knowledgeable more than me, know business more than me, smarter than me, funny than me, creative more. Nothing. I violated to the utmost extent. I went hard. I made it a point that you could never in your life have that discussion with somebody. But really, they aren't the big leagues. The big leagues really is Joe. The big leagues is Charlemagne. And I've watched like over the last week, like shit get nasty between Charlemagne and Joe. It's nasty now, bro. This shit is nasty. I've mentioned on this platform before that, like, truth be told, I like both of them. I talk to both of them. Shoot. I don't know if I'm that much of a peacemaker. Some of y'all think I'm an instigator. But, you know, I've hoped they could, like, you know, reconcile. Because I do think, you know, just like how basketball is happy when the Knicks are in the playoffs, when everybody's available to do content, and even if there's like, you know, competition, when people are bouncing off each other, it's a good time. Anyway, I'm gonna watch 2 clips that I'm gonna give you an opinion. All right. After Mealy Mall and Ruri got dismissed, like the bums they are, Brilliant Idiots spoke on it, and I'm gonna I want to watch this on here. I forgot where it's at.
The people that are, taking advantage of the creators, right? So, you create that. You create this enemy. But the truth is, you really just want to be a part of that situation, which is sad. And that's what happens a lot of times. A lot of times we become what we hate. You know what I'm saying?
Or we've always been it. We just never had the power to expose it.
You hate it.
Very true. Or we never got accepted by it. That's another thing too, right? It's like that. It's like that girl that keeps ignoring you over and over and over. So you try to get
Never do a special with a major streaming platform at all. So I'm not saying people
wouldn't learn from their experiences, but I guess they don't, and that's why I got to question said person, and I got to question the person's team. You know what I mean? Number one, how do you continue to end up in these situations if you have the experience? And number two, how does your team continue to put you in these situations? And this goes back to what started, his rants against me last fall. I said one simple thing on Breakfast Club, one simple thing. I think the brother understands his value, he knows his worth, but he doesn't know how to negotiate it. Yeah. Which is essentially saying, I don't think he knows the business like he thinks he knows the business. Then which caused him to go on all these rants, about me, about, oh, you're not an owner and you're not this and you're not that, blah, blah, blah. I didn't give a damn. People were like, oh, Charlamagne.
That's insecurity though.
Explain.
That's, if you're saying something that's not even a diss, I think that's constructive criticism.
Yes.
I think that is like just general basic analysis.
I thought so.
So when you come back in defense, especially, that's like if you're saying, Ivy, I think that, you work really hard, but this may not be for you. I'm not gonna be like, well, that's why you bald head, and that's why like that. You just deflecting.
Why you have to say bald headed?
I'm just. I mean, it's not what I feel; is what you are. But it's just you're deflecting the point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is thank you for that information. Thank you for your opinion. Now I'm gonna look at why you may think that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work on it so you don't have another comment to say about my business again.
But that's
the way you do it.
That's competition.
And the worst part about that, yes, constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Then we even get on the phone and chop it up about that criticism. But you, behind the scenes, are one way, right? With me, asking for help, we're discussing things. But then you get on your platform
and act like you're enemies.
Act like we the worst enemies, and then now you take it somewhere where you can't come back from. At least with me, that bridge is burnt. Run with that, Reddit. Like that, you know what I'm saying? That bridge is burnt.
It's interesting.
Burnt.
It's interesting with the parallels with Trump. I was talking to this guy who's he was like a CIA.
I've said this analogy a million times. I'd rather be the sun than the wind. Right? Remember, have you ever heard that story?
Burn the bridges, walking over someone else.
You know what I mean? And listen, I'm the type person, this is the first time I've even spoke about this since those rants last fall. But I didn't speak with words, I spoke with actions. Because that's another thing. Like, you can say whatever about me, I know what my hand is. You know what I mean? Exactly. You can say whatever about me, and I know what I'm doing. It's like, oh, Charlamagne, he don't own nothing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, hey, Black Effect Podcast Network, even though I've owned mad stuff prior to all of that, but Black Effect Podcast Network, you can go to blackeffect.com. Black Privilege Publishing, Tamika Mallory, State of Emergency, it's out right now. SBH with my man Kevin Hart at Audible. We've got answers available on Audible right now. I'm working, bro. I don't have time for the back and forth, because there is no back and forth.
Exactly.
I gave a critique, which I think now people can say without a shadow of a doubt was true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without a shadow of a doubt, I think we can say that this critique is true, because if you constantly end up in the same situations, clearly you don't know business like you think you know business. And that's fine. It's never too late to learn. God bless you. Wish you the best.
Yeah.
But as far as me, when people ask, why I don't speak on certain things, I don't want to. Me.
You don't need to.
I don't need to. Me and that brother did not sit down and come to an agreement that we wouldn't speak against each other. There's no threat he can make against me that scares me. I just don't feel the need to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't. It's just that's it.
Moral of the
All right. Let me add some commentary to this. All right. First of all, it's interesting in the place where I sit between all this. Charlamagne has been a great guy and has served as a mentor to me. Someone who is transparent without a shadow of a doubt, has talked me through things that he knew I would run into, giving me the heads up on business stuff. Someone who just being able to be within his vicinity to have a conversation with him, I have learned more. And I've always said that. When I first met Charlamagne, I never asked for a job. I never asked for anything. I knew I was going to be me in some way, shape, or form by myself. But I wanted someone who could probably help me avoid certain mistakes that maybe they've either had or they've seen other people had. And he's been someone like that. So I that's my guy. Let me put everything in perspective of what he's saying. And this is where I think about a lot of this. And I'm going to play someone with Joe did a respond thing. The most successful black media personality, if you ask me today, if we are not counting Wendy Williams, is Charlamagne the God. I could understand how he felt slighted by Joe when Joe went on rants basically saying, oh, he's working for a white corporation, he don't own nothing. I will tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt, Charlamagne is the most successful by far. It's not close with him and whoever you might think is number two. And I say that with no caveat with it, with no fucking disclaimer. He's way more successful, media-wise, I'm only talking media-wise, than anybody else within the space. Don't tell me I'm bugging. I know it. I see the business. I know this. We're not talking about Oprah. We're talking about within the hip-hop cultural space. I'm telling you what it is. We're not talking about Steve Harvey. By the way, that's the thing. Somebody like him, if he's thinking about people to compete with, it should be Steve Harvey. Because I'm telling you, within hip-hop, he is so far ahead. The nigga is writing books. He's putting out other people's books. Okay? The nigga has, was it 2-time New York Times bestseller? He's been on that like multiple times. Not only that, done a bunch of shows, has the biggest radio show still for 10 years. Like, we're going to get to talking about Drake and his accomplishment, but for 10 years, this motherfucker has had the biggest radio show. I get it. You might say radio's not whatever. Really successful podcast. Has a Comedy Central joint coming up. Bro, it's not even close. I'm fair with everything I say. Y'all should know. He's on a different level. Now, I look at it because I want to compete with everybody, including him. He's putting the work for 10 plus years on a professional level. I always say I've been in this for 10 years, but 10 years it took me to even, I felt like I went pro like 2017, 2018. I feel like I'm 4 in. So I look at people like him and I say he's doing everything he needs to do. So once the Comedy Central is dead as fuck, bro, don't try to knock another nigga's accomplishment, bro. I'm just telling you what's happening. Because I'm telling you his accomplishment because I wouldn't want nobody to knock me doing everyday struggle and be like, oh, Complex is dead as fuck. Nigga, I did that shit. What's the problem? It's like somebody knocking Joe's accomplishment, like, oh, Revolt's dead as fuck. No, the nigga did that shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just telling you, currently, and I do think if you ask me, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze him, but I probably am. He probably did feel a way when when the consensus, at least when Joe was going off of his rants, it felt like it was almost diminishing what Charlemagne did because he's not an owner, blah, 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 blah. And again, he's an owner in a bunch of stuff, but yeah. So I understand him with that. On the flip side, when it comes to Joe, because I hear Charlemagne say this, and by the way, I have personal and private conversation with both of them. So, it's not, and whatever I say here, I always am down to back up privately, whatever. I love both. I think this is where the divide is with Charlemagne and Joe. When Charlemagne says, hey, I don't think Joe may know the business the way you think he does, I think that's true and not true. That's true in the sense of, well, if you keep getting in these scenarios, you don't. I think it's not true because I don't think Joe is approaching, I don't think Joe is approaching business, even in podcasting, like how the average or regular person would. I think he's trying to change the rules. I think Joe is trying to make podcasters basically have leverage or have rights as independent artists, which that's not how it's seen. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm split with it. When Joe is talking, everything he said about Spotify, even while I was at Complex, how he was approaching Complex, he's approaching it like a artist that just dropped a hit record, and this is how it should happen, and also these are the rights that should be protected if you have that leverage early on in the game. The rap game and the music game been going on for a long while. This podcast resurgence is quite new. So Joe is looking at people to say, hey, I don't want to do business like how other people are doing business. I want to change the business model because I'm that hot this early. I don't know if y'all understand that. And by the way, I don't ever want to make y'all feel like y'all stupid because I know y'all smart. But this is where I agree with both. A lot of things that I look at Joe and I'm like, I would never do that. I look at it as him trying to change the industry because he believes he's early and new and quick to the top of an industry that he could change, as opposed to music. By the time he got there, shit was set in stone. So, to give an example, in the music industry, when you sign to a label and you drop album A, B, and C, they own the rights to that forever, whether you're on the label or not. I think Joe's business sense in terms of changing that model within podcasting is that, yo, you ain't gonna own this shit. You're essentially licensing it, and when I'm ready to leave or renegotiation comes up, I could take the whole shit with me. So this is why I wouldn't stamp that comment that Charlemagne is saying in that Joe doesn't know business. I think Joe does know business, but I think the way Joe's going about podcast business is that he's going about it as being a trailblazer and he's trying to write new rules. Just like how Dave Chappelle wrote new rules when he signed away his rights to Comedy Central. Comedy Central licensed his show to Netflix, and he threw, I'm just calling it a hissy fit, and Comedy Central dropped the show, and Netflix dropped the show, and Comedy Central had to go to him and basically work out a deal that he could own the shit. I feel like I'm getting too in depth here. But Anyway, I believe that was the end of his response. I'll get to what Joe said in a second.
The story is stop in the moment.
Care up, down, like I just subreddit, yo. Beads and stones. And
That shit ever again. I don't
Let me see if anything else.
poor leadership skills.
probably super romantic, bro. Like
Around somebody and they're doing everybody dirty, if you're not checking that individual, and I'm not even speaking about that particular situation, I'm just saying in general, if you're not checking that individual, what makes you think that it's not eventually gonna happen to you?
Baby.
I've seen it happen a million times. A million times. That's how a Wendy Williams husband is.
Yep.
Kelvin Hunter.
That's
It's
what
like,
I
yo,
said.
you watch him do everybody dirty. What made me think it wouldn't be my turn at some point? What made me think I was different?
Yeah.
Listen, man.
By the way, in me and Charlotte, remember we had a little hiccup real quick? I think he learned some stuff and I learned some stuff. My thing was that, yo, bro, while I was talking to you and I was watching you mad keenly, I've waited for an opportunity that I could be officially in the league. And when I got on Everyday Struggle, I felt like he was just saying stuff like that was mostly contributing to its failure or it not being in existence. And even when it came to me, I was like, it didn't feel congratulatory. It felt like it was focused on stuff that was more bringing me down. And I think for him, he realized, yo, this dude has watched you all along. He's never been in these positions. Even if you're going to give those critique, don't only give the critique, be there to congratulate him when he does make a move. So be there to give him his flowers, even if you're going to later on try to correct him. And I think we got through that part. But watching how he handles stuff, right? Let me see. I just forgot what I was saying.
Love you.
Hey, that's just the treat other people. Eventually, it's gonna be your turn, and that's why I tell.
Yeah, no. I'm addressing this whole thing about because for a second I thought Charlamagne was a straight hater. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm gonna be honest. He's straight with it. I always told you that story when I first went to the Breakfast Club, where I went up there to interview Charlamagne, and the intern that brought me up there, I used to work with at my college. And the intern had told them, they said, if it's one motherfucker I do not want y'all to interview or ever fuck with, it's Akademiks. And Charlamagne was like, bro, that's my nigga from Twitter, bro. I'm gonna talk to him. And and the chick who said that brought me upstairs that day. I had no idea she had smoked for me. And when Charlamagne came out of an interview, he immediately brought up, and I respect him for that because it's true to his personality. He said, yo, Ak, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what you did to her, but yo, she fucking hates you, bro. Like, bro, you might owe her an apology. He kicked it off right then, right there. Like, yo, y'all solve y'all issues right now. And it was news to me. But to address the whole thing with because I think Joe sees him as a hater too. In hindsight, after me and him have, kind of repaired our, relationship. We're not repaired, but just, clarify some shit. I don't know if Charlamagne is a hater or just someone who he's kind of historically correct. He's watched a lot of shit happen and he says it with no filter. Yo, Joe don't care about y'all bum ass niggas. Y'all niggas might get fired. What happened? Them niggas got fired. So I think it's the way he puts stuff across that may make him come across like a hater. I don't think he's a hater, but he's one of those people who he forecasts and he puts it out there without trying to give you something to make you feel good. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. It's all good. All right. Yeah, no, I feel like he does speak facts because even now I talk to him, I'm like, yo, sure, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was kind of I felt the way how you predicted how Everyday Struggle would be. But in hindsight, watching how everything went on, you were right. My only gripe with you is just that for me, who's a newcomer, I wish you would have shown me some love at least when it first kicked off. Not just be the person just predicting it was gonna end. So, he's right a lot, but it's a thin line for most people in terms of accepting you giving your honest opinion and thinking you're hating. Let me just play this Joe shit real quick. Then I'm moving on from all this media shit. I ain't got time for it. And if you wanna, or if you're interested in any type of shit between these motherfuckers in terms of media, or like Joe with women claiming this, or Charlemagne ex-rape accuser, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't play like that with media personalities. I think that's dirty. I've always told y'all, if y'all ask why I think Charlemagne has some respect for me, why Joe has some respect for me, because when people were trying to use my platform as a conduit to try to take them down in planting stories that were pretty obvious that it was a plant, like you're going to send me a clip from an Instagram with like 1 view, and you're like, hey, this might be going on about Joe or going on about Charlemagne. Bro, you're hoping I post it to add fire to it to hope these motherfuckers lose their jobs. Again, I have no comment about those situations, and I remove myself anytime those type of situations are happening. I like to compete, but I don't ever want to have to do that to try to bring down an opponent, okay, or a peer. I don't like that. Anyway, let me listen to what Joe had to say.
Which kept me in Queens. And I
X, Y, and Z.
Participants in this media game. That shit.
And that's what, like, yo, again, he's talking about the black narrative. He's talking about a whole bunch of shit. How when you get a platform and you get a voice, you start tearing us down, and they'll let you rock. They'll let you rock. Start saying something about someone.
By the way, real quick, if I ever wonder, I've always thought this. I think Joe found out my real character in a lot of ways. Despite us working on Everyday Struggle together, whatever, you know, there was little slight shots, blah, 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 whatever, back and forth. Cool. But in moments that people try to come for him, and in moments that if I really felt that I didn't like him, and in moments, you know, when people are, it's like somebody who you don't know if they like you, but they probably don't really like you. The moment you're getting jumped, they're running in and like try to like kick you in the head, all type of shit. You know why? Because they see everybody piling on. I've never been that person. I hit Joe up to be like, yo, hey, I'm going to just let you know right now, motherfuckers that send me documents talking about your baby mama. File this with a lawyer. It's not on any dockets. It's not in court, but somehow we got this paperwork. What the fuck? I'm going to give you that information. Whatever you do with it is what you do with it. Same idea with Charlemagne. Yo, Char, I don't know what's going on, but motherfuckers is sending me a whole detailed and even audio conversations with someone who's trying to say they're a victim, and they have a whole story about you. They felt because of whatever discrepancies we might have publicly right now, they want you to they want me to bury you. I don't want no parts of that. That's how I think you earn someone's respect. I don't know if people, I don't know if maybe I'm doing too much that people wouldn't do for me, but I look into most of these things and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Let me play the clip though.
One of them other groups, they shutting that shit down. But with us, they'll let you go. You could nigga bitch all day, but you start saying something about somebody else, it's gonna come to a halt. And that's what he's basically preaching. Like, yo, y'all tearing us down. He's like, yo, I'm a bus. My mother lives on a golf course, nigga. He's made $65 million.
People gotta stop bringing people's families into shit.
Yeah,
too.
like, again, if he made $65 million. Only us do you call that a bus.
Right.
That's only with us. Do you call out a bus?
Nobody else does that.
Fucking doctors, surgeons, lawyers, they don't make $65 million in a lifetime, and they parents and they family be bragging about them like they the best shit since sliced bread. With us, we the motherfuckers that'll find a way to nitpick it.
To reference the Michael Jordan doc, again, the internet went crazy when Jerry Krause offered Pippen that contract, and he took it, right? But when you hear Pippen talk about it, yo, I come from a family of 10. We've been poor my entire life. And I promised my mother that I would do something to take us out of there. So yeah, y'all might be telling me that 10 million over however many years is bad. But at the time,
nigga, a whole generation hasn't seen $10 million. You take everybody in his family and put them together, and they ain't make $10 million collectively.
Yeah. You were saying? Listen, I don't know how to pod anymore, man.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pod. Podding used to be such a transparent, organic place, and then big money got involved, and I don't know, man. Let me just
What's it called? Cancel culture?
Not even. I want to stay on that point that you were making for 2 seconds. Now that I'm clear in thought, let me try to articulate this. I don't even know how you articulate it.
Just give it to us. Nah, you gotta be
All right.
be you sometimes. Yeah, just give it to us.
Oh,
man.
finally. Oh, shit. Wow. Fine. Yes. Oh, my God. Can I get a drop? Yeah, Jesus, finally. They'll let me be me for a change. Because a lot of people were watching me last year, but not really understanding me. They wasn't feeling me. They wasn't really smelling me. I know I say I'm Thanos a lot. And it's funny, and we laugh and we joke, because we have our inside jokes and we talk behind the scenes. I'll try to share a little bit here now. Last year when I was going on those Spotify rants, the rants saying that, I mean, I'm not even sure what they were saying. I guess I was giving a detailed look at some of the things that I was experiencing behind the scenes. And while that was happening, right, because I'm Thanos, every time I say and do something, there's like a wave of, and that's how the internet and this media game works, there's a wave of people that just start talking. And I am a part of that culture. Let me be clear. So when I say the gig is the gig, there's a lot of people that's trying to do the gig, but don't really know what comes with the gig. And in that, there are a lot of companies that want to do business with people that get the gig, but they don't really get the gig.
I'm following.
Part of the gig is sharing your opinion, articulating your thoughts, and taking the heat that comes with that. Sometimes the participants in this media game, it can get heavy. Charlamagne lost an HBO deal. Akademiks was fucking fired, suspended, or some shit for saying something about whatever he went through. I won't even repeat it.
Yeah, I remember that.
I've gone through my shit. If you're in this media game, you go through some shit. But that Spotify rant, why that moment was heavy for me, was because there was a real live, active smear campaign happening at the time. Right?
Yep, I saw it.
But it wasn't enough to just see it. Because if you were on the internet, you saw it.
Right.
But if you know media, right? It all appeared rather orchestrated. It looked planned. It felt planned. It
was a coordinated attack, it looked like.
That's how it felt. And I mean, when I started getting word from niggas in jail that there was a smear campaign going on. Like, all right, man, niggas in jail shouldn't know about the smear campaign, even though jail looks a lot more fun to visit nowadays. Nowadays. I'm just saying, they're taking pics, they're doing voice notes, I don't know.
Fam.
I don't know. They got
topic, but I've seen some.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Right? But the important part of what I'm saying is I got on Charlamagne because he appeared to be going out of his way to devalue me. One of the most prominent voices in this media thing, for that one instance where it appeared that I was down, used all of his platforms and all of his might to continue to push the narrative that they fucked it up. Joe fucked it up. Joe don't know business. Now, let me be clear. I'm only bringing this up because I listen to Kwame Brown and I feel him. Kwame Brown is saying, yo, Y'all are calling me a bust for the past 20 years when my family comes from poverty.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of people make it to where I made it to, and I accomplished my goal. You can't speak for what my goals are. I'm listening to that, and I'm listening to Charlamagne's apology, and it sounds like he gets it. But I don't think he gets it. I think that all of this Funk Master Flex, all of the nasty shit that I'm staying away from because my moral compass tells me to stay away from it, even if I mention it. But all of that stuff is a pow. It make you back up just a little bit. It make you reassess some things. Enter Joe's viewpoint on Duke. Since 2010, he has sat on that platform kicking my back in. When I appeared to be down, anybody that had something negative to say, he spoke to them. He added fuel to anything that was negative Joe. 2010 to 2014, 15, not a mention of an album, music, none of that, but who cares? Because Joe's meteoric rise, it didn't look possible. But then it happened. And then there was still these passive-aggressive attacks to devalue me while I'm trying to gain capital for me and 50 other people.
This entrepreneur...
My bad.
I had a real problem with that. And so did Kwame Brown.
Question for you.
That apology ticked me off. All my people from South Carolina.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Charlamagne from South Carolina. Now there's magically a South Carolina brotherhood. Kwame Brown people from South Carolina. Moncks Corner, Sumter, Columbia, 803. Y'all know the vibes. That apology ticked me off. Everything he was saying to Kwame Brown applies. So are you doing it because this is what's in your heart? Or are you doing it because you got some evil shit in you somewhere, you got some passive aggression, some rage, some hate, I don't know what niggas is into on their own time. What's your question for me, Ish?
You just gave a timeline of
Of niggas sitting on white people platforms, kicking my back and adding the things that they knew wasn't true.
All right. So
and the second that somebody else says, I'm going to add to something that he says may or may not be true, lawyers come out, cease and desist come out. He's doing interviews. Oh, Joe said he might interview such and such. That was enough for me. That was it. That let me know Joe is evil. Joe is... Nigga, shut up.
So this, he just asked...
Too many niggas talking about Joe that don't know Joe.
This just adds to my question. If you said from 2010, roughly till now, he's been doing X, Y, and Z to harm you, why do you chop it up with this nigga, man?
The gig is the gig.
That's why I differ.
The gig is the gig.
That's why I
the
differ.
gig is the gig. See, Ish, and this is where I differ. I just said this to Mandy on the phone this morning. She said, how you doing? How's your mental health? I said, Mandy, when everybody chooses their goal in life or their path, you have to take what comes on that path.
You do. I agree with that.
I chose this.
You're right.
I picked this.
You're right.
They're going to throw their stones. They're going to throw bricks. They're going to want to see me fall on my fucking face. They're going to want to see me rise, fall, get loved, be hated. They're going to want all of that shit. And I'm prepared to get it because I chose this path. I'm with all the smoke. No pun intended.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, if I know purposely somebody is making a conscious effort to do me harm, whether it's physical, emotional, social, spiritual, whatever the case, financial harm, I'm not talking to you.
We
dog.
just spoke about this.
I'm not kicking it with you. I'm not doing my pull up with you on there. Fuck you.
I disagree with you.
I know.
Let me counter your point.
We two human beings.
Let me counter your point.
I'm not doing that.
But let me put it back to you.
Because then it makes you look phony. If you knew a nigga was shooting for you since 2010 and you sitting there interviewing the nigga in your living room, fuck him. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'll take the gig and I'll take the stranger shooting at me.
I'm off on a tangent, but my brain works weird this way. So just follow me. I was watching an interview. Vlad, fuck you, Vlad, was interviewing some real live street nigga. And the real live street nigga was a part of the Supreme Team and all of this other shit that I won't get into. And that led me down a Supreme Team rabbit hole of Preem and Bimmy and just anybody in that story, which kept me in Queens. And I know some of the people that I was reading about, right? And I started reading about murders, about some Queens street legend niggas that just got killed. And some of the what's going on behind the scenes. And nigga, we are of no relation to each other outside of. Oh, please, you cracking your neck? I want to hear it. Let's do it. And even with him doing all of that shit that he did,
you ain't got to be mad. Though. It's just saying
we
like,
don't have to be besties.
Right. Disagree.
I'm not.
Disagree.
I think.
Let me tell you something.
I'm agreeing with Ish a little bit. On
Yeah,
that.
I know, but I'm trying to tell y'all something, and then y'all can respond to it. Listen to this. Charlemagne not liking Joe Budden. And damn, see, this is what I wanted the podcast to be, transparent time. Charlemagne not liking Joe Budden is at the lowest of totem poles.
Indeed.
The lowest of the totem poles. He alters nothing for me. He changes nothing in my world. Where I'm going, there's the hedge fund niggas that don't like me. There's the board members that don't like me. There's the race.
All right. I'm going to keep playing you on my opinion so far. What do y'all want? Keep playing? All right, let's go.
Racist people at the companies that don't like me. It's the racism in advertising that don't like me. It's real fights with people that do not like me that I have to exhaust energy on to eat and to feed people and to get my... Charlemagne is not that. That's why I get confused when, like, whatever he said something, oh, I know what's going on behind the scenes, and nigga, we are of no relation to each other outside of... Oh, please, you cracking your neck? I want to hear it. Let's do it.
You know that, right? You're saying there are bigger nemesis that I need to encounter to get where I'm trying to go, right?
And I got to talk to him.
Indeed.
I got to deal with him. I got to communicate with him.
Let me go.
Rub elbows. Go to dinner with him.
Yeah, you got to talk to him.
Right?
Right? Cool. Granted. That's you have to do that. With regards to him, one, he don't know that the shit he's doing is not going to have long-term effects on your success. You know that.
But wait, how you don't know that?
Because...
All right, man. Let me just have a minute. I'm going to be honest. I've gone back and forth and thinking, is there a Joe Budden smear campaign? Is there? And if there was, who would be orchestrating it? Why? Who would run it? Who would be pulling the strings? And who's powerful enough to do it? It's clear to me that Joe thinks Charlemagne's running this smear campaign sting on him. Did it before and maybe doing it again. I'm going to be very honest. I don't think so. I think what's happening here, and I could be wrong. By the way, I'm not discounting the fact that there could be smear campaigns ran on people. All I'm trying to say is that with people like Joe, with like Charlemagne, shit, even me. Because you're polarizing, you end up rubbing people the wrong way or either burning bridges, whatever the case is. And what happens is that people, because niggas like Charlemagne, Joe, even myself, they look at it as, oh, this guy is powerful. They sit on whatever they got until they feel like it's the jumping. It's like the big bully at school. We can't do nothing to this nigga unless everybody fuck him up. Now we can get it off. Because think about what I went through. With the Chrissy Teigen thing, bro, they were trying to hit up chicks. They were trying to use my ex's words. Did he abuse his ex? And then she came out like, nigga, he ain't do shit. What the fuck y'all talking about? And then they got mad at her. What the fuck? So was that a smear campaign, or was that just people who don't like you and you like, nigga, I got a lot of people that don't like me. I maybe have equal the amount of people that don't like me that do like me. Same with Joe. Joe, you have burned every building down as you've gone on your way. You've told people who support you, random other people, suck your dick, this, that, and third. People do want to see you fail. Same with me, same with Charlamagne. And when one thing starts to gain traction, everybody else brings out the other shit they got against you. So I don't know if it's an orchestrated smear campaign or just the mere fact that, hey, niggas don't like you. Bro, the moment I slip, you'll hear all type of weird shit about me. Yo, I try to do this, he try to do that. So that's why I'm trying to say, I think Joe is so much in the belief that Charlamagne started this. Joe, some of these motherfuckers who wanted to speak out about you before probably thought if they spoke out before, your audience was going to get them clapped up. Nobody will listen. Their opinion didn't matter until you seem to be down. Now everybody has an ear to what other people that are having accusatory remarks about you might say. Let me keep listening.
Because he's trying to. What do you mean he don't know that?
I said, how don't he know that? You say he don't know that.
He might be short-sighted. I don't know the guy. What I'm saying is, when he's shut up, man.
I'm saying they've only tried to kill me for 20 years,
all right, so again, all right, so watch this. If a nigga's trying to kill you and they got you in the garage and they set the garage on fire.
We're gonna get to the truth.
Fuck.
Yeah, and they lock.
By the way, I do want to say, I see people are jumping in because I think they probably don't like Joe for whatever reason. It's a reason why, like, I've stayed out of most of this shit. Joe is talented. Like, if y'all think y'all about to get him out of here with this thing, you're not. When he comes back, I could imagine he has a list of names. And those people are going to get it paid back 10 times worse. Because that's what I would do. I don't know if y'all know. Mealy Mole and Ruri were starting to come around and starting to suck my dick, pause, before I went off on them. There was a time before I went over them, the time mentioned like, oh, Ak always got the correct information. But motherfucker, I never forgot the points where you said I was on coke. I never forgot the point where you were devaluing me. I never forgot the point where you were slandering me. So not because you came around means that I give a fuck about that. That's what I'm saying with Joe. I think Joe is probably taking names, and you're not getting him out of here. He's going to be here no matter what. Yeah, he's going to come back around and pay a revengeful receipt to all the motherfuckers who were just trying to chime in. That's how it goes.
Because you tried to kill me and you were unsuccessful at doing so, I'm not talking to you because your intent was otherwise. It's the intent. If I'm not talking to you.
Before your very eyes. Alone. What's the difference?
It's no different.
You can't shame either.
You're right.
So careful about what you shame when you sit up here on these fucking, you know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying now you know where angle he's taking.
No, now I'm not buying him any chicken from Kentucky Fried anymore. I mean, from Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Okay.
Charlamagne don't know me. There's a long list of people out there that speak about me that they don't really know me. But I took offense to that. Why? Because they're trying to get niggas paid. So it's talk about $85 million being generational wealth for where some of us come from. No, $1 million is generational wealth for where some of us come from. A half a ticket. 1.5. 2.5. I'm saying numbers today that I've never imagined myself saying. I'm saying numbers today that I've never learned math on. Let me not get loud. People think I'm erratic when I'm loud. And I'm not erratic. Right? So I went and tore his ass up something nice. Thanos style. Pow pow. Get off me, little nigga. Because I don't play with you niggas.
Man, please don't say pow pow.
Pow pow. Just a little pow pow. But the pow pow, I didn't articulate it right. But everything Kwame Brown is saying was my point. Hey, if we in the black media space, then let's handle it like black media. But some of you are puppets. Some of you are controlled. And some of you are executing interests outside of your own. So why would you attempt to devalue me 100% black owned, black everything plus parks when I'm trying to change the lives of so many people?
Yo, he got the Dave Chappelle cadence down right. I'm gonna listen to this shit too much. Yo, Joe, check it out. Charlamagne, check it out, man. I personally believe y'all got a beef that is beyond what the general person who watches y'all could comprehend. I think y'all beefs really started over Tahiri. I really want to believe that. I still believe that to this day. I believe because of maybe Joe's treatment to Tahiri or whatever the case is, Tahiri used to be a frequent person or someone who has been on at least once or twice on Charlamagne's podcast, Brilliant Idiots, when it just started. I do believe there was some friction there. When Joe went up to the Breakfast Club, Joe was always getting grilled about domestic violence accusations. And I could imagine he's looking at Charlamagne like, bro, you my nigga. Why you talking about that shit so much and grilling me when I ain't come here to talk about that and shit? Like, bro, you know, when a man is accused of that, whether he was completely innocent or not, it's hard to kind of get that shit away from him. I think they have a secret private beef that has evolved into a lot of other things. I think it turned to business beef when Joe was basically kind of doing his Dame Dash shit, talking about ownership, blah, 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 and also then kind of made Charlamagne to look like he was weak. Now, Charlamagne did comment on Joe first in terms of that business dealing, but, bro, he's on Breakfast Club. You got to comment on everything that's popular. And I think Charlamagne was only commenting not to hate on Joe. I think he was trying to comment just to say, hey, yo, Joe, you saying certain stuff about business that could lead young people into really fucked up positions. And I agree with that, too, because a lot of shit that Joe be talking about business-wise, if you're not Joe Budden, that's not going to happen. If you're not Joe Budden, that's not going to happen. So I can understand why Charlamagne is like, hey, I'm going to just give a counter example and to even this out. Then I can see why Joe's like, whoa, nigga, you're making me look more or less credible. So anyway, I hope they do whatever issues they got, bro. I don't know. All right. Is there anything else don't need to talk about with this particular thing? I talked to Joe like 2 days ago. We talked about some of the funny shit. I said, Joe, why do people think that like you used to give me information? And Joe said something which is true. Joe said, yo, these motherfuckers are scared to actually admit that you have done the work and you are in a position and you're smart enough to be able to see shit on face value and make an educated guess. If they ever say that, it defeats their whole point. They have to say, I'm telling you what's going on, because if they would admit Act is just smart enough to realize what's going on, even in other people's situation, it would make them look stupid because they hate you. That's very true. I had a couple gripes with him. I shared that, and spoke to him about his overall situation. He says he's fine. Says he's fine. I feel like he's turned eel on the audience, and he said, "Yo, Ak, that's why the movie didn't end here." So, in what he's telling me, this needed to happen for the upside later. I'm impatient, so usually I can't wait for the upside, or like the shit to come back around. But congrats. What y'all talking about, man? I'm so fucking tired. Somebody says, "Yo, Act the last 3 streams been the same. Might as well create a channel called the War on Joe Budden podcast." No, I like Joe, bro. We're not talking about his podcast. I'm just talking about Joe, Charlemagne. That's the thing going on in that space. Anyway, we can move on to Drake, bro. All these niggas, like, when I'm up for like some drama shit, they'll talk about me, bro. Like, don't get mad if I talk about them. And I get it. We shouldn't talk about them too much, but for whatever reason, you guys seem obsessed with the lives and careers of media personalities whose job, like my job, is to talk about and discuss the culture and other people, but yet y'all are obsessed and y'all care about my life and y'all care about Joe and y'all care about Charlemagne. So you can't be mad if we talk about each other, okay? Anyway, oh, this is what I wanted to play. Me talking about that took way too long. Jesus Christ. Here we go. This was the acceptance speech by Drake at the Billboard Music Awards. He was presented with the Artist of the Decade, and we're going to watch it in its totality, then we're going to discuss it real quick.
Here at the 2021 Billboard Music Awards. And now it's time for the Billboard Artist of the Decade Award.
So I'm sure you're wondering who all these people are on stage are. Well, let me explain. When Drake was asked who should present him with the Artist of the Decade, he had a lot of choices.
By the way, I think this is Future the Prince. That's Drake's manager. I think this is him. I could be wrong.
It could have been one of his peers. It could have been one of his mentors. It could have just been one of his very famous friends that are interesting. But he looked me straight in the eye and said, "It should be you guys, my friends and family, the people that have been there every step of the way with me." You see, that's just who Drake is. He's the most kind, selfless, generous person we know. Here's a little bit more about the Artist of the Decade.
Let me tell you something. Actors don't rap. Rappers don't sing. Rappers don't come from Canada. Where the f*** is Canada? I'm supposed to believe in this light-skinned, R&B face, crying on every song. Does he even write his own songs? I promise you, this is never gonna work. This is never gonna last. Even if he had a cosign. Even if Lil Wayne co-signed. It doesn't even matter. Okay, best I ever had was a cute one, but he needs another one. Nah, another one. Nah, f*** that. You know what? Okay, he did it, but can he do it again? No, again. No, again. No, again. You know what? He's just a lucky guy.
Are we sure it's luck? #1 albums, 6 #1 songs, a record 232 songs on the Billboard charts, 45 top 10 chart positions, the most of any artist ever. Are we sure it's luck? The first artist to debut at #1, 2, and 3 simultaneously. More weeks on the Hot 100 than Elvis Presley, Elton John, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. Most streamed artist of all time. 13 Billboard Awards, the most ever in one night. 27 total Billboard Awards, the most wins in music history. A record 431 weeks on Hot 100. Luck is defined as success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than through one's own action. This is far from chance. This is purposeful choices, selfless gestures, relentless hours, and a whole lot of good karma. This is clinical, surgical, militant. Even when they don't want to compete anymore, you find someone to challenge every single time. And if that someone is yourself. It's not luck, my good friends. It's certain destiny.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to present the Artist of the Decade to the leader of our family, Drake.
Thank you very, 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 very much. That video was really full of a lot of confidence and bravado, but you know, the truth is I'm really bad at taking compliments. You know, thank you. I'll take that one though, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm really self-conscious about my music, and even if I do a good job, I always wonder, you know, how I could have done it better. I rarely celebrate anything, and just for anyone watching this that's wondering how this happened, you know, that's really the answer. It's being so unsure how you're getting it done that you just kind of keep going in the hopes of figuring out the formula. Just feeling so lucky and blessed that the fear of losing it keeps you up at night. I didn't really write a grandiose speech about how to make it work or what it took, because, you know, to be really honest with you, I don't quite understand it myself. But I just know. I just know that I've spent an incalculable amount of hours trying to analyze all the things I did wrong. But tonight, for once, I'm sure as hell we did something right. So. I want to dedicate this award to my friends. I want to dedicate this award to my longtime collaborators. I want to dedicate this award to all my peers. All of your decisions and the music you make really does have me tossing and turning at night trying to figure out what I should do next. So thank you. To my beautiful family. And hey, wait. And to you, I want to dedicate this award to you.
Keep watching as we've got performances from Duran Duran.
Oh, that was cool. Hey, what did y'all think about all that? I'm gonna be honest. I think that was a no-brainer. It took the Billboard Music Awards to give Drake his proper due. Drake is Artist of the Decade. And if you think about from 2010 to 2020, you can't name another artist. I was really even looking, I'm like, yo, could The Weeknd have competed? You can't name another artist that's been that consistent, that good, put up that amount of numbers, that present. And truth be told, I don't even think he has a competitor in hip-hop when we think about that. I think The Weeknd's up there, but who else? Who else? I see some people say Kanye. Around 2017, Kanye kind of lost it, bro. After like 2017, I don't think Kanye was Musically, no. Kid Cudi, no. Kendrick, no. Kendrick dropped like 2-3 albums, no. Chris Brown or J. Cole, no. No disrespect to J. Cole, but J. Cole's not. No. Come on. We're talking about the artist of the decade. And I'm glad that was the title of it, because when it comes to what Drake does, you'll be able to have subjective conversations if somebody's like, who's the best rapper or the most lyricist? Who's the best lyricist, blah, blah. You can have maybe, really dope conversations with people who love Kendrick and Cole. But when it comes to artists, Drake has outperformed J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar combined. He's been here more than they have been. He's bigger than both of them are together. He's just a dude. I'm sorry to say. I know. You're a Drake fan. It was pretty easy if you're thinking about just rap. The nigga's done more, performed better. He's still putting up great work. What the fuck more do you want from him? So I said, now until Kendrick dropped, Kendrick basically took off half a decade. He ain't dropped since 2017. You ain't dropping 4 years, nigga. You took off half a decade. What are you doing? This is the award that makes me think like, some of these other artists, hopefully your goal is to just be, I'm a better rapper than him. But you were never a better artist than Drake at all. Could never be. You've taken off half a decade to put out an album. We held Drake to a standard where he had to put out some music every couple of months. Kanye's a better artist, but if we think about 2010 and afterwards, we're going to have Good Kid, Mad City. Do we have 808s or no? Maybe 808s. What after that? Nothing. I've always said persistence and consistency is a key. If you're not consistent in trying to be a musician, I don't think you'll ever be there. If you're not consistent in trying to be a YouTuber, TikToker, whatever the case, you'll never be there. But what we've seen in music a lot of times, people have gotten success and then the consistency falls off because you're already successful. And most people were doing this hip hop shit just to get rich or get in a certain position. Somebody says, Act don't want to say Wayne. If we were talking about like 2006 to 2016 or 2005 to 2015, yeah, maybe we could say Wayne. But 2010 and afterwards, no. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, okay, that was classic. Yeezus, that was trash. Life of Pablo, that was good. We're talking about 3 projects. Rihanna checked out the game like a long time ago, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm one of the music fans, bro. I really use your hiatus against you. Rihanna's passion these days is makeup, lip balm, foundation, all type of shit. Like, come on, bro. Her discography reads that her last album was in... She dropped 3 albums after 2010. Bro, this is no brainer. The Weeknd has a stake. Push it T. What do y'all think about Drake bringing Adonis to the thing? I'm going to be honest. I think for Drake, it's unfortunate that his career will always be reminded that Pusha T was the one who exposed the fact that he had a child. So the narrative is that Pusha T forced him to be a dad. Without Pusha T, he wouldn't be at this award show claiming his son. And who knows if he would be. But I hope Drake doesn't look at shit like that. I don't think he looks at shit like that anymore. Somebody said he had to bring it down in South. Soulja Boy said he was trying to hide him. He got bullied into fatherhood. Oh my God, no. Bro, y'all look at Drake all wrong. Y'all have looked at Drake all wrong, man. I don't think Drake did anything wrong. I think Pusha T did what he had to do. But truth be told, there might be something to say about Drake having his kid up front like that. Because truth be told, Drake don't have his baby mama up front like that. So that's what kind of gives it some credence. Maybe Pusha T did shame him into being a father because he got Adonis on his Instagram all day. He got Adonis at award shows. We never see his baby mama. His baby mama has removed herself from the porn scene. She's in some art district just fucking coloring shit. Who knows? Someone said, why would he post his baby mama? If on Mother's Day your baby mama gave you your child, does everybody hate their baby mama? Someone said, nah, he don't date his baby mama. I ain't say she got to post her all day. I'm just saying he act like she don't exist. Someone said she's I'm gonna be honest though. I give his baby mama credit because I feel like she's cleaned up a lot because she know who she's with. Bro, his baby mama has not given one embarrassing moment for Drake yet. Does Drake post his baby moms? Yes. You usually see him with them before they get pregnant. Like, as soon as you see Future with a girl, you be like, all right, she's gonna be pregnant in like 2 months. Drake new girl is busted. That's not Drake new girl, man. I didn't want to bring it up. That's not Drake's new girl. Me and Drake, we talked about that too. Drake said to me, yo, act. He's like, yo, you know my body, bro. He's like, bro. He basically gave me the hint to say, yo, bro, if I'm going to pop out with a ting, it's going to be a bad ting. You feel me? Like this shit going to be a movie. You feel me? So there's a picture of him. He confirmed, he said, bro, that's literally someone who works for me. And he said, yo, act, if I'm going to pop out with a, he didn't really say it in those words. But basically, he was just like, yo, bro, yo. You know what I mean? Where is this girl? Oh, right here. Which I think Drake fucked up anyway. Like, nigga, if you hire her, yeah, he said, act, you gotta know my body, bro. Which I'm taking that to believe, act, I could get any girl in the world. if you about to see me claiming some chick, she about to be bad as a motherfucker. Which led me then to be reading the Shade Room comments. And look at this comment up front right here. He has a type, huh? Y'all think Drake got a type? I would say Drake got a type, but I would say it's strippers. He raps all day about strippers. Hold on, we're going home. Convincing the stripper to get off the pole to go home with him. What y'all saying? Georgia Smith is type. Drake likes mixed BBW women. He said that. Man, forget what y'all saying, man. Not gonna lie, I actually believe that this woman is not his type. I think Drake really like ratchet chicks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Drake like ratchet BBWs. I don't think he meant to get this chick. Obviously he's proud of having a son, but like he either meant to get the Sophie chick pregnant. There was a long-standing fucking rumor that Drake would meet all these girls and he would always fuck them raw. Which, again, if you worth like $1 billion, well, maybe if you worth $1 billion, you could fuck her raw. But I remember Johnny Blaze came out and pretty much said like, yo, yeah, Drake fucked her raw, this and third, and then shamed her into getting an abortion or whatever the case is. I don't know. Maybe Drake's living reckless like that. I don't know. This picture looks a little odd, though. Both his hand on her waist. He's focusing on how he looks in the screen of the phone. Looks kind of comfortable. The ass looks like it's positioned over his dick. Y'all think Drake fucking her? Maybe he denied it for the gram, but you think Drake fucking her? Shit. Someone says act, of course. Someone says, how do you think Drake feel about A$AP Rocky claiming Riri? I don't think he feels no type of way. Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't see Drake with like a Jamaican or Caribbean woman. I think he likes them. But like, if you ever been with a girl like Rihanna, bro, she dominates you. Like, you got to be on some thug shit to like really stand your ground with her. I don't think Drake wants that. If you ask me. Drake and Rihanna made up. Aubrey likes the snow bunnies. Drake said he happy. Did Drake say that? I don't know. Anyway, what else been going on in hip hop, man? Salute to Drake, man. As I said, we talked. He basically said this is not his girl, but like this is a woman that works for him. He don't want people to have it ever misconfused or misconstrued like he's fucking her. That's not the case. That's someone who was really nice, and it was like, I don't know if it was her birthday or something like that. He took a picture with her. What else do we need to talk about? Talk about Cole. Oh, did y'all see this clip? There was this basketball player, right? Let me look. 2 days ago, I missed a call. I got some sources, which I don't know if this is true, so I'm putting it out, and I know y'all gonna run with it. Oh my God. Fuck. So let me just say, I don't know if this is true, but some sources from Florida claim that he's I don't know if he's a full-time patient or just a in and out program where like you go home afterwards. they claim he's in a rehab center called Legacy or something like that. And I was trying to figure out for what. They claim it was for possibly drugs. They also claim that usually people who get put there, it's court mandated. I don't know what particular drug that could be. And I also don't know if it's completely true. I'm getting this information from someone who got the information from their friend that works there. But I hope everything is good with Kodak. Yeah. Yeah, truth be told, I really don't know what the heck is going on with Kodak. Like, does Kodak even come off to y'all like he's on drugs? I don't think so. And by the way, I don't know if like maybe like, you know, he's probably on supervised release. I don't know if like maybe he got a dirty piss test, and anytime you get a dirty piss test, you got to do rehab. I don't know. But that's what I was told. Rich Homie Quan new video. I'll let you watch it. You tell me how that go. Someone said, you know, well, Kodak on drugs. Most of these artists are on drugs. There's a lot of functioning like drug addicts in the game. I was in Florida. I seen some new shit. There's some new fucking drug. It's pink. It's pink powder. It's taken through the nostril. But apparently it's like, what is it? It's like angel dust or something. I don't know what the fuck. It's something and coke mixed together. I forgot what it's called. Also, I realized while in Florida, this is how much they do drugs out there. I thought this was a rapper or a musician. Tusi is a drug. Somebody says top 5 update. Chat, we're gonna have a big stream soon. Top 5 is gonna come on our stream. That's the crow, okay? Me and him, we gonna link up. He gonna come on the stream. Somebody says 6ix9ine doing drugs. If he was, I would have told y'all. Yeah, y'all know me. I would have probably told y'all already. What he does, I think, truth be told, I think that nigga be taking mad like laxatives, bro. I think I don't know if that like flushes out your system or just whatever. It's a weight control thing. Definitely takes mad laxatives. Somebody says 2C. What? 2C? Huh? How much is YoungBoy selling first week? I'm about to start hiccuping. 80, 90. He's not out, so 80, 90. I'm about to like die. Lil Reese update. I thought Lil Reese got shot in the eye. Apparently, like die. Lil Reese update. I thought Lil Reese got shot in the eye. Apparently, he didn't get shot in the eye. Apparently, he could see. He did get shot. Apparently, he's out of the hospital. He's recovering. He's traveling. And I got some video of him doing some stuff. Nothing wild. That I'll post to kind of show you his progress. But I like the video that I was watching when they were handcuffing him and like blood was dripping out. That looks so. Yeah, that shit. That looked a certain type of way. But apparently he's good. I think Lil Reese got to move out of Chicago. But I'm going to be honest with you, which I don't think anyone really thinks about. Lil Reese isn't making that much money off music. He can't go out of LA and pay for a $6,000 a month apartment. And I think he likes Chicago. So, yeah, he did look like he was about to die. Little act update. Man, I'm dropping some music soon. React to Charleston White. I ain't about to react to a motherfucking thing. I'm about to get off the stream. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm streaming tomorrow night because it's Thursday night. Is tomorrow Thursday night? Who's dropping tomorrow night? Who's dropping tomorrow night? Oh shit, we got a little hype train going on. Oh, we got DMX. Oh yeah, we're gonna listen to DMX tomorrow. YB and Rod Wave. We didn't get that yet? I got that song. Hey, could somebody unban this guy from the Discord, please? You want a Playboy Cardi update? I'm gonna hit up Cardi after this. You made a 3D art of you. Could you get a shout out? Hey, I seen a video. Oh shit, I'm gonna post it. Let me in the go. What's good with you, bro? Yo, so I'm going to LA. I think I'm gonna do Aiden stream. Should I do a no jumper interview or just chill out? Y'all let me know. I'm not on a press tour for anything really. Like, especially my fucking podcast didn't even get announced yet. So I'm not on a press tour for anything. But I am going to LA soon. You can't handle the no jumper heat. Is that boy's fucking stupid? No jumper is my son. Like, Adam's my son. The fuck? I watch Adam and Joe. If I do Adam's platform, save all that fucking deep shit for some other shit, nigga. Start firing off top. Bang. But I don't know if I'm gonna do any press. Breakfast Club when podcast drops. Yeah, I'll probably do that. I've never done Breakfast Club. Don't go no jumper. I'll do a poll when it's closer to the time. Oh, dude, DJ Ghost, of course. Yeah. Nah, definitely. I want to link with DJ Ghost. Me and DJ Ghost gotta do some content. I fuck with Ghost. Dang, y'all not fucking with Adam. Everybody's like, don't do it. Yeah, no. Once the rollout for the podcast starting, I'm gonna do Breakfast Club. How y'all feel about Vlad? I talked to Vlad recently. I was like, Vlad, I might come up there and do that shit, man. Should I do Vlad? Can I do Vlad? I don't know if I'm on Joe Rogan's like even. I don't know if he knows who I am like that, so I won't say Joe Rogan. Do it? Don't do it? Vlad or no jumper or both? Or neither? Let me know. God damn, y'all hate these motherfuckers. Shit, y'all a wild. Anyway, why is hip hop so fucking boring, man? Yo, in the last week, like that's why I was glad. Like I went that time. Yo, hip hop is boring. Let me look what's going on. What even went on today? Kanye and a model spark dating rumors. Kanye is dating a Russian model. Yo, chat, let's be honest. You know Kanye definitely don't like black women. Like that nigga he want niggas that only date Spanish, Armenian, Russian. Now, actually, I think he like his girls from like Europe type shit. He like white girls, not even Spanish, white girls. Polo G announces his album. Okay. Summer Walker responds to backlash with her baby. I don't care. Ariana Grande's married. Huh? J. Cole leaves Basketball African League. All right, good for you, bro. SZA says she hates her label. Oh, by the way, let me lightly touch on this. She hates her label. Oh, by the way, let me lightly touch on this, the Chrissy Teigen thing. Lightly. The whole thing with Chrissy Teigen when I got suspended from Complex, I was definitely very emotional, charged up. I was definitely off the hen dog a little bit, and I said some things about her. It really referred to her, and that was disrespectful. Now, I've always said I didn't just randomly say it. I really had a point. I've always thought Chrissy Teigen, who was very popular on Twitter, she used her platform, and in my sense, it was 3 occasions, or 2, definitely 2, where she, and I always take offense to this, we're all public figures. I've never jumped on the bandwagon when I feel somebody else is getting ridiculed by the public. Now, you know, from time to time, Twitter don't like me that much. So they'll put all type of Photoshop stuff with me. They'll make up all type of lies. Oh, he tweeted this. Everybody knows that certain tweets were hacked. People will tweet out a Photoshop picture of me and somebody else that's, you know, it's Photoshop. And I watch Chrissy Teigen like add fuel and add fire just to get off her little whatever social media thing at that time. And she was clowning and whatever with me. Now, Chrissy Teigen isn't that much in the world that I operate in the hip hop sphere. So I looked at it and I said, I don't let nobody slide. I should get at her right now. But I didn't. I'm like an elephant, though. I write down names. And whoever usually kicks you while you're getting jumped, hopefully you have the vision and the memory to remember the people who were on the sidewalk who ran in just to get a couple kicks in, just to be like, yo, I beat his ass too, right? So I always thought of that. And I always said, you know what? Whenever the moment came that I could repay the same energy that she gave me. By the way, I've never spoken to her. Don't know her at all. But she used her 10 plus million followers to try to co-sign jokes and a narrative about me. And by the way, some of the narratives that people like her usually are claiming they're defending. She was, wow, that was thunder. I don't know if y'all heard it on the mic. I remember just kind of watching and hearing that. I was like, damn, like Chrissy Teigen's trying to just like kick my back in type stuff. Anyway, I definitely picked the most ill-opportune time to get back at her. Her husband had just flopped. And when I mentioned her, I used a derogatory slur. That, again, it's common in hip-hop, and I've used it since. But personalizing it and also the way how I delivered it, it seemed angry, mean, hateful. It caused backlash. Okay? From there, people and my corporate partners start to look to say, hey, we're seeing shit. People are saying this online. Ak, what's up? Now, their answer to public scrutiny is that, hey, we love you, we want to keep you, but we who are also going through things ourselves, we have to show that we're committed to change. We're going to suspend you, which I still have a lot of things to, I have a lot of reservations about that. Complex in the moment, who was going through a lot of give me 1 second, chat. I have an alert going off at my crib. Hold on. Give me 1 second, all right? Give me 1 second. Play some music.
Hey.
Sorry for the disruption. Little alert. The thunder kicked off a lot of shit with my cars and also my security system. It's fine. But just kind of going back to it, I definitely understood the way I approached that situation with Chrissy Teigen was very insensitive, seemed hateful. And I eventually apologized, and I do mean the apology because especially I was working with at the time Nadeska, and you know, I respect her so much as a woman in not only the workplace but just even in media and just in a corporate sense, that I understood that even though I felt I had a real reason to say stuff to Chrissy Teigen, that might be taken as my views on all women, right? So let's move from there. Again, my point was that Chrissy Teigen was trying to be a bully. And y'all know how I don't like bullies. And I responded to her in a very nasty way. Since then, Chrissy Teigen has been back in the media, except it's her comments to someone else that has caused people to realize maybe she's not the victim. Maybe she is the person who's using her social media power to try to bully, intimidate, and do really, nasty stuff to people online. And I have no comments about that, but I use it as a method of reflection because I know no one really got why I said what I said about Chrissy Teigen, but it did come from a place that had a reason with it. I was wrong in how I delivered it, but trust me, a lot of things I see people now having some eureka moment about, I felt she was doing to me. You get me? And by the way, this is one of the things, I hate when women do this. You can't claim you're in support of the LGBTQ community, and then when a male does something you don't like, you call that male gay. Especially if that male's not gay. But again, I'm going to leave that there. My overall wishes to Chrissy Teigen is that, hey, listen, we all make mistakes. I would hope, and I read her apology or whatever it was about the situation that she's currently facing heat for. We all make mistakes. I hope you've realized, maybe some of the damage you've caused, just like I've realized that with my comments that was aimed at you, some of the unintentional and also the wrong way I went about it. In regards to cancellations, and this goes back to even with Joe Budden, Joe believes there are smear campaigns against him. I believe there's canceling parties. It's not smear campaigns. When people see you down, they're scraping from the bottom of the ground to get a reason to get you out of here. After the Chrissy Teigen thing, they were trying to find every and anybody who could have a testimony about me and women, because that was the narrative. So Chrissy Teigen, I've learned lessons. I hope you will, and I hope we both could continue and realize that canceling each other or cancellation period is dumb. You could make a mistake, realize your mistake, and try to do better without someone saying you don't deserve a livelihood, without someone saying you don't deserve to be here on earth. We could make mistakes as humans. And I feel that I've been in that position, and that's why even though I could point out what people might say she's doing bad, you're not going to get me to say, oh yeah, get her out of here. No, because the same thing, in the Jamaican saying, when you dig a grave, dig two. Dig one for them and dig one for you. So prayers goes out to Chrissy Teigen. I know she lost a child in the last couple months, and I hope all her words in her apology and explanation for what's recently going on has been sincere. Chat, y'all are gangster. Chat doesn't want to ride. They don't care. Chat, y'all are wildin', man. Y'all don't want to hear shit, huh? Let me see what else needs to be talked about. Chat, I'm going to be back on tomorrow night. We're going to